Good evening, friends. This is your host Ijaz Hussain. In this podcast today, we will discuss about some of the incidents that happen to foreigners here in Romania. And I have a lot of complaints or a lot of incidents reported to me, and I was asked to discuss about them. It's about discrimination. People have been treated quite differently than they would treat a Romanian while they are on workplace, and there are some incidents that happen to our friends, and we will try to discuss in such a manner that what precautions you should take and what are the legal ways to handle it and what are your rights and what are the limits of the people in which they can take their actions, and what are the limits and what are your rights to execute in this kind of situation. Today with us it's again Andrea. Hi Andrea.
Hi, Jess.
How are you?
Fine. I've missed our podcasts.
It's been a long time we didn't do the podcast,
Yes.
so finally we are here. And another topic that we have on our list today is the people are being treated
Differently.
differently on the basis of remarks.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are even threatened, you know.
Threatened.
Yes. So, of course, later on we will put all the examples
Of course.
into this podcast. First, we discuss why this discrimination occurs in a society.
Yes, this is a very good topic, and we are currently handling a lot of such cases, especially for foreigners. Indeed, there are more such cases when it comes to foreigners than when it comes to Romanians. And usually discrimination can come in different forms. It can be related to their nationality, to their religion, to the age, what we have seen so far, which are very, very common. Of course, culture also is involved in most cases. Romania hasn't been used that much to receiving foreigners like it did in the past, let's say, 5 years, because after the COVID started, there was a huge migration, which us as immigration specialists didn't see the same phenomenon previously. Since 2020, of course, a lot of foreigners came to Romania, especially from Asian countries, to replace Romanians where there weren't covered job positions.
Yes.
And Romanians haven't been necessarily used to this. So sometimes discrimination comes from the mentality that Asian people were brought here because they are cheaper than Romanians, which is it's not true, to be honest, because we also tell our Romanian companies, employers that we represent, that if you decide to hire foreigners, no matter if they are Asian or from anywhere else, you don't hire them because they are cheaper. You hire them for their stability and for desire to do some of the jobs that, to be honest, Romanians aren't handling right now. Not because I don't know, they don't want to necessarily, but they also tried other options and went to other countries such as, Germany, Italy, Spain, Portugal, and the list can continue. So in the end, Romanians did also the same thing that Asian did, meaning they wanted a better quality of life, better financial conditions, and so on. So Asian people came to replace these Romanians that weren't currently doing a lot of activities, especially in Horeca, hospitality, and Glovo delivery.
Yes.
And here I have a lot of stories, but I will try to limit, which are not necessarily positive, unfortunately. I remember from 2 weeks ago, we had a girl that wrote to us on Facebook that she has been discriminated at work. She was in a position, blue collar position, so she was not a worker.
Mm-hmm.
And her colleagues were discriminating her because of her braids. You know, she was from Nigeria, I think, and she had braids, and people were making very bad comments, and they were not treating her equally, because in the end, this is what discrimination means, not to treat someone in the same way. So when she went to address the issue to the HR, we should have usually jump to her defense. She received a position that was, of course, not satisfying, meaning, well, it is what it is. It is your decision to wear braids and you should remove them, which, from our point of view, it's not something that should happen. Of course, every company has a business etiquette, meaning how you need to dress, how you need to look. But if you are clean and you are neat, I don't see a problem in having braids. And of course, the reaction were discriminating her, and we did recommend to amicably solve this with a higher position in the company, because it made her felt ashamed of her culture, which is not okay. This is one example. But most of our clients are discriminated because of their nationality when it comes to either working hours or salary. And for the same position, they are not paid the same. For instance, there are differences in terms of payments, or there were in the past, because at least with our companies that we represent or the clients that we haven't seen that much in the past, in the latest months, for instance, because the Romanian employers tend to reward foreigners that choose to be loyal, choose to be with the company and not leave after 6 months or 1 year. But there is discrimination in terms of salaries. There is discrimination in terms of culture, nationality, religion especially. This provokes a lot of tensions within the workplace, not only from the management side, but also from the colleague side. And surprisingly, it's not necessarily related to discrimination from Romanians towards foreigners, but even within the community. For instance, if we have an employer that wants to hire people from Pakistan, India, Nepal, and Bangladesh, this is never a good idea, because there will be a lot of conflict. Or if you choose Muslims versus non-Muslims, or if you choose, I don't know, people from Africa in comparison to Bangladeshi. So always there are tensions because of this, you know. Yeah, so we have a lot of examples.
Let me tell you one example that currently happened with a friend of mine. He went to deliver one order.
Okay.
There was one mature gentleman. He refused to take the food from that guy.
Why?
He said, "You are foreigner. You came to my country. You are taking our job. I do not want food from you.
Really?
Take it back."
I didn't hear this.
During that time when he started doing this, that guy was smart enough to call Glovo at the same time.
Okay.
Glovo operator heard all that conversation over the phone, and they were very nice with him. They told him that, okay, go take that food.
Okay.
You eat it. We will deal with the customer.
Yes, this was definitely a discrimination.
Yes, and then that guy ate that food of 300 or 350 RON. Plus, they blocked that guy to order from Glovo.
Well, this is a very nice approach in comparison to what happened to me, for instance, with Bolt food delivery. Everybody's saying about foreigners that sometimes they eat food, sometimes, this is the main issue in terms of hygiene.
Yes, it is.
It is something very common, and it's also about the mentality, or because they work too much, or they don't want to spend the money. So I don't judge them. But my recommendation is eat the entire food. Don't leave anything for me. I would be very understandable of the situation. But of course, even myself, if I see that the food is partially eaten, I will not eat it. Not from a foreigner, even from a Romanian, because I have a problem with washing hands and everything. So if I believe that there was a lack of hygiene, I definitely won't eat it. But what happened to me with Bolt, because everybody is saying that foreigners came to take our jobs and they are stealing our food and blah blah blah. But the reality is that I made 2 orders on Bolt food. One related to some groceries needed for the house, another one food, like eating something from Drister, actually, steakhouse. And the reality was that the food came quite fast. I was enjoying my food when I received the other message that the second order has been delivered by Mariana. So, not a foreigner, need I mention. I was on my balcony and I did not see any Mariana riding a bike or anything. So I started texting, where are you? Maybe you confused the address, blah, 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 because it was strange. I just received another order from a foreigner. When I started calling Mariana, she didn't answer. Then I started thinking, wow, what should I do now? Because it never happened to me, and it was a large order, because it was grocery for the house. Anyway, it was less than 1,000 RON, but still. Nobody was answering. I started texting Bolt. They said they cannot make proof that I did not receive the order. Are you joking? I said, how can I make you proof that I did not receive the order when she didn't even enter the building? Like, I have cameras and so on. So I asked for a refund and they didn't want to give me a refund. So Mariana left with all my grocery. I hope she enjoyed my grocery.
Somebody was in more need than you.
So I do hope she needed those groceries. And I was a little angry because in that order I also had water. And during the night, I had no water. And I said, well, let nobody judge foreigners when our Romanians are doing exactly what the foreigners are judged for. So it happened to me. So what I want to say is that if there is somebody worth discriminating, let's say so, it's both in Romania and in other countries. So we can't judge only based on the nationality.
I will add one thing. Where there are human,
there are mistakes.
Nature is always the same.
Yes.
It doesn't matter the human is European.
Yes.
It doesn't matter the human is American or Asian.
It's true.
Human nature remains the same. They act the same.
With the same temptations and so on.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Wherever they know that they can cheat, they do cheat.
Yes.
Okay.
It's definitely true.
Yes. Recently we shared one video on our platform in which I said that I prefer to hire foreigners rather than Romanian.
Yes.
I told you on the basis of experience.
Are you discriminating?
I'm not discriminating on the basis of experience that I had with the Romanian.
And culture related, because it's one way you can understand yourself with a foreigner or a Pakistani at least. Another one with Romanians, because Romanians are more, we have rights, we don't have obligations, while the foreigners are on the contrary, my opinion. They care a lot about their obligations and they reduce their rights.
Yes.
This is what I see.
In my case, what is my thinking? If I'm running a company, I do not care where the worker is coming from.
Of course.
As long as that person is good and not cheating the system and working for me for my profit.
Yes.
Okay.
I understand.
It can be Romanian, it can be anybody. But on the basis of experience that I had, that the most money that was stolen was from Romanian. On the basis of that, I got a lot of discriminating remarks and comments on the video.
Okay.
That go back to your country, do business in your country, and this and that.
I wanted to add, I'm ashamed, to be honest, by the remarks made by Romanians. But what I wanted to tell you is that if you take a look at the Romanians that are commenting, there are people that probably never left their village or their city. So their mentality is limited to their universe, which is also very limited. I'm not saying this with trying to be mean or something, but it's a reality. So this is what they know. Is like they need to defend what theirs, and they consider foreigners the enemy, but they prefer to stay at home and not work, because the reality is that Romanians got very lazy
Yes.
in the past 30 years, and there is this mentality of making money very easily. Now with all the social media, everybody thinks that they can do money out of nothing, so they don't want to work anymore, but they have opinions like you should stay in your country, but they don't think who is going to do cleaning, who is going to take care of our elders, who is going to take care of the children, like nannies. So there are a lot of jobs that are currently occupied by foreigners in a very quality manner. Like for instance, I personally went to have massage at a Romanian versus Balinese, for instance, or people from Nepal, Philippines. Their technique is definitely different. So I would always choose a foreigner over a Romanian when going to massage. But this is not discrimination, it's just the awareness that the quality of the services is better when it comes to this category of foreigners. And it is the same with the Romanians. So they need to understand that the world is evolving, that we are in a constant migration, and let's not forget that we did have a lot of years when Romanians left Romania to go to Italy, Spain, Portugal, Germany. It's the same. So West is for Romanians, like Romania is for Asians, you know? It's the same thing.
Yes. So in my case, discrimination shouldn't occur in the sense that any educated person who
Do you want to sue them?
I'm not interested. I have better things to do in my life.
Okay, I'm just asking because as a lawyer, I need to find clients always.
I have better things to do in my life than going behind people.
But I don't encourage this, because this is why it happens, you know. Let me tell you something. When a person is discriminated, it's usually because that person is on a secondary position, like they are inferior somehow.
Yes, complexity they have in their mind.
Yes. But this inferiority comes from either they are subjects of discrimination because they came from a different country, and now here in Romania they don't understand properly their rights. And because of this they feel inferior, because they think that a lawyer costs too much, they don't know where to go, they don't know that there are NGOs that offer free services. So they don't know their rights. This is the main problem. But if they allow this to happen on a daily basis, they encourage people in doing not only discrimination, but even recurring to even worse behaviors like spitting or hitting, and this can degenerate.
Yes, no, this has already happened. I have heard these stories from person who's with actually it happened. A friend of mine.
Okay.
He was on the motorbike.
Okay.
One guy with X6 BMW came on the signal, came equal with him, lowered the mirror and spit on him on his helmet.
The one that was on the right of the driver.
Yes.
But he should have taken a picture.
1 second. Then that guy put his motorcycle in front of his car and asked him to come out. One Romanian who saw it, he also brought the car and stopped that guy and asked him to come out.
They got into a fight?
No, they didn't get into the fight. That guy got scared. He said, okay, I'm sorry, I did it. And he left.
This is what brings violence.
Yes. And the second thing that happened to the same guy, I do not know what is wrong with him. The same thing happened to him, that he was stopped on the signal on the red. One guy hit him on his head, put the mirror down and put him on his head. That guy, again brave enough, put his motorcycle in front, came back and started beating him on his face. He was wearing very nice suit. He tore it down. He said, okay, if you, without any reason.
Did they ever go to the police?
No, for that.
To solve this?
No. He tore his suit, very nice, probably 1,000 minimum, that suit that he was wearing. He broke it And then just imagine that you are an educated person sitting in a very nice car.
Yes, there
And
is no
then-
reason for you to behave
Yes,
like that.
and then you shouldn't be behaved like this. And second of all, what value do you have after that once your suit is torn off by somebody who is foreigner and you couldn't do anything after that? What is your value later on?
No, it's something that I think that people have problems in terms of managing their anger, and this is the easiest way to get rid of the anger. I don't encourage this, and what I want to say is that definitely when this happens, you don't have to take justice into your own hands. I recommend people, especially global delivery workforce, to have a body cam.
Mm-hmm.
This body cam, I think, it protects them.
Yes.
Because not only it prevents them from getting into such situations, because it would have been very easily with the body cam to prove what happened so that they can go to the police or to the authority handling discrimination or even to a lawyer and go to court. In order to take some prejudice, it doesn't matter if it is one RON, okay, one leu, it's nothing. But the mentality is that you shouldn't allow people treat you like this because you encourage them into doing worse. So body cam would definitely protect them.
You mentioned police. Do you think that police will take actions on this kind of complaints?
It depends. If it is a fight, probably. But if it is only something where two people got into a
Little argument.
a little argument and so on, it depends if they bothered others or not, or if they were videotaped. In principle, police, I don't think, handles such small cases. But depending on the police officers, they might give fines, which in the end, it's something...
A lesson for them.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so you understand in Romania, what are the main reasons people are discriminated for?
Yes.
It's race, religion.
Nationality, culture,
Yes.
different, everything can be a discrimination factor.
Exactly. So never think that if you are a foreigner here in Romania, these things are happening to you only. There are these things happening to Romanian in outside of the country to them.
And another
Right?
thing that's worse, I believe, because as foreigners come here, you understand better than no one that there are multicultural families, okay, composed of Romanian and a foreigner, and they have children.
Yes.
Their children, unfortunately, will also be subject to discrimination because of the mentality. And because nobody does anything to stop this discrimination. And Romania, as a growing country, it should be very careful related to these matters. Because why is it more important to not be discriminated because of your sexual orientation instead of being not discriminated because of your culture, nationality, religion? So it's the same.
Yes.
So if we put focus on not being discriminated because of sexual orientation, then we should put also focus as a country on not allowing people to be discriminated because of their nationality, religion, or culture.
So what are the precautions that people have to take into
So
consideration?
First of all, whenever something like this happens, because you need to prove the discrimination. You have, on one hand, you have an authority handling exactly this kind of cases, and it is an authority, the National Authority of Anti-Discrimination, and you can very easily find information related to the contacts, I mean, on Google, but if needed, we can also share this in the podcast link. And another one is going to court. If we are talking about very serious discrimination, more important and more serious and so on. So we as lawyers, we are always handling this kind of cases. We analyze and we tell our clients whether this is a serious case of discrimination and what they can obtain. If we are talking about discrimination made by a natural person, of course the prejudice can be limited. However, if we are talking about discrimination made at the workplace, then we are talking about without more prejudice that they can obtain, because the workspace needs to protect them and not allow discrimination, no matter their gender, nationality, culture, and so on. And it is something that they need to understand, that they can do something in order to obtain at least a compensation because they were discriminated, if this affected their self-confidence, their
Emotions.
and so on.
So, guys, in this podcast, we try to mention the incidents that happened with our friends, the people around us, and what are the precautions that you have to take to avoid these kind of incidents. Do not take the law into your hands. Try to solve it through the authorities. Thank you very much.
Thank you also.